Okay. Here we are, everyone. We are here with Natasha Ofili. She has a new film, a short film coming out called The Multi. It's premiering at Slamdance, and it's really good. Natasha, how are you today?
I am doing good today. I am a little bit overwhelmed, but it's very exciting. I just had a Slamdance filmmaker meet and greet today, and I'm really inspired just by everyone's journey as filmmakers and being able to hear their stories. And everybody else is nervous too. And so I'm still processing a lot of those emotions, but it's been a really good day. Thank you. How's your day been?
Oh, busy, great. I also forgive me. I forgot to introduce your interpreter, Carrie. So she's going to be the voice. But
Yes.
um, yeah, okay. So let's talk about your short, The Multi. Tell me the story without giving too much away.
Yes. Okay, so the multi really, this film, um, it's got a special place in my heart. This film is about a Black deaf woman who she suffers from trauma that she's experienced when she was younger, and she never really faces it. Now she's forced to be isolated, and through this isolation, she's really facing her own thoughts, her own feelings. She starts to lose control. She doesn't want to deal with these thoughts and feelings, but she has to because she's by herself. And so, sometimes when you're alone for a long period of time, you're having to deal with unexpected feelings, unfamiliar thoughts, or maybe even familiar feelings or thoughts. And you really do have to confront it, sit with it, feel uncomfortable with it. And the character is not really willing to go through that journey yet. And so that's a lot without saying a lot, but
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
have to watch the
And
film.
yeah, because when the film opens, she's just like, scrubbing it and, keeping everything exactly right. And so just fighting so hard for control. And we know where that goes. Uh, it was a really
Exactly.
yes, yes, and it was a super interesting way to open the film too, when with the toothbrush and everything. Um, so okay, so I was like, okay,
No, exactly that. Yes.
so okay, so this is really a unique story for a number of reasons, but it does a lot for representation of like a lot of different people. In itself, this film was about a deaf Black woman, okay? But why was this particular perspective important to share?
I mean, you are right on the nose. Yes, this story, I mean, everyone can relate, whether you're deaf or you're hearing. Most of us do suffer from some sort of trauma in our lives, and we've experienced it at some point with mental health, some type of depression. I was diagnosed with clinical depression in 2009, and you too. Yeah. And so I went to therapy for many years, and that really helped me to become who I am today. And I have no shame talking about my depression with my friends or strangers, but I noticed that other people aren't comfortable talking about it. It's not a normal thing. It seems like society makes it a very big stigma. Like, I've noticed people getting really uncomfortable talking about it. So I'm like, okay, okay. So I realized that I really wanted to incorporate that into the story. I wanted to make people more comfortable, and I want the audience to feel like I understand those feelings and it's okay to feel that. And I want this to be a conversation starter for
Mm.
people who may be eating dinner with friends or just to start that healing process. And I want this conversation to be normal. I don't want it to be shameful.
Yeah, and it's important to normalize the discussion of any mental health issues. It's such a I don't know. I personally find it silly that there's such a strange stigma to it, but
Yeah.
the stranger thing is to not deal with it. The production team was also populated with just a huge range of people that were they, deaf, hearing impaired, or fully hearing. Was this something that you constructed, you meant to do, and was it easy to work in that environment or difficult?
Well, actually, it was surprisingly easy. And most of my crew was deaf. The hearing aspect was more related to the gaffer and the DP. Those were the only hearing people on set. While like the virtual Zoom, we had a virtual Zoom with the deaf director, the first AD, and there was another producer who was also hearing. And so we did have interpreters in that environment. At first, the virtual situation was like, how are we going to work with people on the TV screen through Zoom? But everyone was really open-minded and open-hearted to working together, being patient, being open. Everyone was willing to find ways to converse with each other. It was a huge success. The DP had never worked with deaf people before ever in his life, and he said it ended up being one of the best experiences. And he wants to fabricate it, just how successful it was. And I think that we all have the same goals. Our goal was to make this film successful, and everyone brought their A game to the set. They really elevated the story, and I all I can say is wow. I mean, I am happy with the team that I got to work with. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. It was a good challenge. Definitely a good challenge.
Well, then obviously this was a prime example of how diversity can improve a project. Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely. And with the deaf crew that we had, they were all professionals. One of the crew members, the art director, wasn't working as a professional yet, but one of the graphic artist is now working on The Mandalorian. And so we had a lot of deaf professionals. We had a lot of quality, a lot of talent, a lot of deaf experience. And so I think people working in Hollywood, I don't want them to automatically just not include that group. So my intention was to bring both communities together, to really set a good example that it is possible to have deaf and hearing people working together. It brings a lot of point of views. We all were able to bring our experiences and really enhance the show. This person brings their specific qualities, this person brings their specific qualities, and so it was so nice to have, yes, that diverse group. Everyone was bringing something different to the table.
Yeah. And it shows, and it was really, really good. um I guess my final question. Oh, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, thank you.
um what advice would you have for other independent filmmakers or minority independent filmmakers or people with disabilities? What is your advice?
Yeah, that is turning out to be a common question, which I really do love it. And I've taken time to really ask myself. I had a light bulb. I had a light bulb moment. I would first ask them, are you motivated about your project? And if they say yes, I would say run with it. Think outside the box and just run. You know what you want to do, and there's going to be nothing else. And if you do that, you're going to be successful. Collaborate, look up to mentors, ask lots of questions. Don't be afraid if it's a right or a wrong question, just go for it.
Just ask everything, trust your gut.
Yes.
So excellent,
Yes.
excellent.
Amen.
Well, yeah, so again, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. um Really enjoyed the film. So glad to see some representation. And just keep creating. Please keep creating.
Thank you so much.
Do you have
Thank you so
Are you gonna do any horror films, maybe?
much. Well, it is funny. I do have one script that I started working on last year, and it kind of does feel more like a thriller. It could be, I mean, it's an interesting script. I'll look forward to expanding on it and maybe trying to get it into a full feature film. But first, I'm working on another project, which is going to be the next thing on the horizon. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It's going to be really exciting.
What is it? Can you talk about it?
Um, I'll give you the title. It's called Can You Make a U-Turn?
That's it?
That's it. That's the thriller. That's all I'm gonna give you.
Well, listen, again, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for creating and thank you for representing. And I wish you the best of luck on the multi and your run at Slamdance. My God, how exciting is that? Slamdance. So,
No, right? It's so exciting. Thank you so much, Norman, for taking the time to watch my film. I really appreciate this. This is such a nice ending to my day. So thank you so much.
okay, well, go get some rest because it's just going to get crazier. So,
Yes. And thank you, Carrie, for interpreting as always.
yeah. Thank you, Carrie. Sorry.
No worries. Have a good day, you guys.
All right. Bye, you guys. Check out
Bye.
the multi at Slamdance.